Okay, so can you tell us your name, where you're from, and what you do back home?
My name is Nadia Bazanich. I'm from Chicago, and back home I'm a resident doctor.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your accommodations and the food that you got at the volunteer house?
We stayed at a house that was in a kind of a residential neighborhood, so it was fairly quiet. The house had electricity, water, and there was enough room for us to sleep, and we had a nice bathroom. There's also a pool outside of our house, so it was pretty nice accommodations. As far as food goes, we had a cook that cooked us breakfast in the morning, usually some kind of eggs, and at night for dinner we had traditional African food, which I enjoyed every meal. It was usually some kind of meat and maybe in a stew with some kind of side like rice or something like that, and then there's sometimes vegetables and fruit and things like that. So I felt like the diet was pretty varied and I enjoyed it.
Okay, can you tell us what the most shocking part of Tanzania?
I'd say the most shocking part of Tanzania was the traffic. I didn't see hardly any stoplights or crosswalks or anything like that. People just drove to get to places and passed each other, and people walked when they were able to find a space between the cars to cross the street. But I mean, I never saw anyone get hit, so that was good.
Okay, do you have any advice for future volunteers?
I'd say as a general statement, just to come in with an open mind and realize that sometimes situations like when the house loses power, it might be uncomfortable, but you just kind of have to get comfortable being a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. As far as specific things to bring, definitely a lot of like flashlights, stuff like that, in case the house does lose power sometimes. And we really liked our little mini fans to get some nice cool air going, and bug spray for the mosquitoes. As far as the hospital goes, I would say to bring some supplies that isn't too hard to carry, like thermometer, obviously stethoscope, gloves if you can, just little things, because sometimes the hospital runs out of things and doesn't have access to those, so it's helpful if you have some on hand that you can share or use yourself, but otherwise it's a great experience, so that's about it.
So can you tell us a little bit about the most eye-opening part of your project?
The most eye-opening part of my project was basically seeing how medicine works in another country, especially a country with limited resources, and also to see all the different diseases that we don't see back in the United States.